Some mornings are so calm, and the kids are sort of easing their way into the day. And other mornings are just so loud, and the kids have a ton of energy. And so I usually just go with whatever they're feeling. Today, all they wanted to do was play on their scooters after breakfast. And since it was so cold out, they were definitely not going to go out. It's important to remember that kids do not feel the same way every day, just like we don't feel the same way every day. Some mornings I wake up with so much energy, and other mornings I'm so tired. This is also why we choose to homeschool, because we don't want to do things the way the public school system does things. And so part of that freedom is really just knowing when you need the structure in place and when you need to relax. I love what watercoloring does for kids. It's really so calming. I eventually would like for this to be a daily routine of just watercoloring. After anything really calming like watercoloring, I like for them to just burn some more energy right before we get started with our lessons. I find that doing this method has really helped them to remain calm during lessons, because they'll know they're almost going to take a break. This also just feels a lot more productive than just letting them run around crazy. Right now, having them all together for lessons is really important for us, even if they might not be working on the same thing. Nobody's forced to learn anything that they're not ready to learn, but they're also not going to be completely separated from it. Not only did it just not work for me because my kids just kept running over, but it also just felt like it created a division amongst them. It's not a rush, and it's not a competition, so there's really no reason to separate them. And honestly, I just don't see a big difference in my kids. I feel that Noah, a lot of times, might pick up something that even Ella may not pick up. And so, realizing that, I felt it wasn't beneficial to just separate them based on age. After all, they've never stepped foot in public school, so everything they've learned together. The only big difference I see between the kids' ages might just be attention span, but it's not anything that they can or can't pick up. Noah isn't forced to stay at the table, so you'll see him occasionally just run off, and I never stop him. He'll come back when he wants to. Doing it this way will ensure that learning is always fun. He's at this age where he kind of wants to prove himself as a big boy, so he likes to stay with the girls as much as possible. The big part of homeschooling is just recognizing the kids are going to be better at certain subjects than others. And so, for some lessons, Ava might want to do first grade alongside her big sister Ella, who is 6, and on other subjects, she might just stay at kindergarten. Ava technically doesn't need to start school until next year, so we have a lot of time to prepare for that. Most moms who choose to homeschool don't really have full support. There's so many mixed opinions on homeschooling. It feels like there's so much on the line, and moms feel so much pressure to prove themselves. With a public school kid, if you ask them, what have they learned today? It's considered okay if they don't have an answer to that. There's no pressure because they go to school. But with a homeschool child, they're expected to answer what they've learned. Otherwise, you've done nothing with your day. I'm teaching a lot more than just academics. The parts that are often ignored in public school, the parts that kids have to tuck away deep within themselves to get by. The more important parts. And if those parts are ignored, then it really doesn't matter what your kid can recite. I hope that this can inspire anybody who is thinking about homeschooling. Thank you for joining us today. See you on the next video.